Alright, this is Vegeta8259 again, and this is yet another work in progress video for my Master Grade Sazabi. And this is actually the last batch of parts that I have to spray paint, and consisting of mostly parts for the backpack. So you can see we've got these giant propellant tanks back here, the actual backpack itself, the racks for the funnels, lots and lots of tiny little red parts for the funnels, some of the little silver parts that go inside the funnels, more black parts. So yeah, now that all this is sprayed, the spray painting portion of this project is finally over, and now I can concentrate on actually there really isn't much hand brushing to do, because most of the parts are in their correct colors. I'm just gonna have to hand brush some like little tiny details like rivets and screws and thrusters and things like that. And then after that it'll just be panel lining and decaling, and at that point Sazabi will be finished. I did repaint those parts where the red paint kind of messed up. At first I started sanding the messed up paint off, and then I remembered, wait a minute, I have a really good technique for removing paint involving brake fluid. Yeah, the kind that you use in your car. I'm actually not going to show off that technique, not because I'm trying to keep it a secret or anything, because you can find it in other online forums like Gundam Eclipse or Hobby Fanatics, but the reason I'm not going to show it off is because it's very easy to ruin your model kit by doing that technique. So I just don't want a bunch of people coming to me saying they ruin their kits by following one of my demos, so I'm just not gonna record that. But anyway, I removed the paint using brake fluid and resprayed them, and now it has turned out much better. I did use primer the first time, by the way. I use primer every time I paint on everything I paint. And the problem was I just wasn't using enough. I had used one coat of primer, which is usually all I use, and on plastic one coat of primer is fine, but on some of the resin parts that one coat just wasn't enough, so I went back and used a double coat of primer, and the problem was lessened, but it didn't completely go away, so I tried a triple coat of primer, and that finally solved the problem. So all of my painting woes are now over, as the painting process is now over, at least spray painting anyway. So anyway, I've rambled on long enough out here showing you a block of styrofoam, so let's go back inside and I'll show you some of the stuff that I painted the other day. So anyway, here are some of the parts I finished yesterday. Well, not yesterday, day before yesterday, but that doesn't really matter. Here is Sazabi's upper torso. It's finally done. As you can see, actually this was the first set of parts that I painted using my triple primer technique, and I was just very glad that all of these parts came out flawlessly. So it's this point of the building and painting process that I start getting really excited about a kit. Because once everything gets painted and you start getting around to the paneling and decaling, it's when you can really start to see the kit come together, and this is probably my favorite part of the whole process, just because you can finally start to see your hard work pay off. Anyway, I did get the arms done as well, or at least one of the arms. I had to respray some of the shoulder parts for that shoulder, but this arm's complete anyway. I used some gold for the pistons on the back of the arm there. I'm going to have to glue this two halves of this forearm together because it's not very secure. This is all resin down here. As you can see, I got the hands done as well, and they actually look pretty nice. Usually I just glue hands together, but this time I did something a little different. I actually used brass pins, which you're really supposed to do with resin pretty much every time, but I usually don't use brass pins or brass rods. I usually just stick with super glue and epoxy. that came back to haunt me on my 1:100 scale Kshatriya. But anyway, I used some brass pins for the hands, and actually the fingers are now removable. So you can see it's kind of blurry, but it's got a very small brass pin right in there, and I can put the fingers on and off. And if I wanted to put them on there permanently, I could just glue that brass pin in place. And these hands are actually very, very nicely detailed, as are most resin hands. Pretty much any resin kit you get, the hands are going to look fantastic. I wish Bandai would make their hands look like this on their model kits. Anyway, I was kind of disappointed. Pretty much the only disappointment I have with this kit is that we only get one fist. I thought we got two, but we only get one fist for the left hand. I guess they had in mind that we would always have something in the right hand, so we didn't get a closed fist for the right hand. Anyway, I guess that's about it for this work in progress video. I may do another one after I do some decaling and panel lining. I might not. So my next video will either be another work in progress or the review of the conversion kit. So whichever one it is, I'll see you at that video. So see you guys later.